What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Back again with another topic video today. My name is Brandon. Today we're going to be talking about 3 ways that I overcame depression and feeling stagnant in life. So let's get right into it. So I say my first point that I like to start off with that helped me, move through depression and feeling stagnant or lost in life was, my physical activity. Just body movement. Keeping the body movement going. Working out. Doing things that I felt. Just continue to keep that heartbeat up, to keep that mind flowing, to keep ideas flowing. To continue to just to if you're feeling like you're stuck in life, I feel like the best thing to do is to move. To help yourself just to get that momentum, to create that wheel, to allow yourself to kind of catch a momentum or catch a wave or catch an adrenaline rush to help you maybe propel you into something that you might not even thought of if you were not to do the movement and the physical activity. So again, being an athlete my whole life, through high school, college, and all that, athletics and physical fitness has been such a big component of my life. So I feel I've always leaned into my athletics as kind of an outlet, or a therapy session, or just a place where I can express myself and release emotions or things that I feel were pent up inside of me, to to leave it all on the field, to leave it all on the track, to leave it all on the court, to just release that stuff and use the physical activity and the physical experience, as an opportunity to release, and to embrace and to allow, just new emotions and new things to come in. And even in those competitive fields and those moments, when I was doing my physical activity or competing, I felt myself so present to where everything that I was dealing with externally in life, just kind of disappeared. So with that, it came very therapeutic and very peaceful for me to compete and to always, be involved in something physical that helped me, release and move through things that I might have been dealing with in my life, personally, professionally, socially, emotionally, whatever the case may be. It was just always an outlet for me to turn to and release pent-up emotions and things that I felt were holding me back or keeping me stagnant, or were just keeping me down in low moments. And then on top of, just the competition with athletics, just the basics of going to the gym, working out, doing the regular day-to-day, just, going to the gym, showing up, 1 to 2 hour gym sessions, getting a pump in, getting some cardio in, get the body movement, get the mind moving, and to, allow that blood flow and that creativity and those ideas and those emotions that you might be feeling to kind of stir up, rather than just staying dormant and stagnant, within the mind and subconsciously, but to allow them to, move around and maybe even be released subconsciously, once they become conscious, and that you can now, be aware of these things, embrace them, acknowledge them, and then remove them, rather than these things holding you back as an anchor and, withholding you from, achieving your greatness. So again, using these wounds as wisdom and turning the pain into purpose. That's really, been, a key component for me, overcoming my own depression journey and getting over that stagnant feeling of feeling lost in life and kind of, unsure of what's next, and kind of unsure of what the future holds, and kind of even scared of what the future holds, because, you've been so comfortable in the norm, and, being able to predict, or, think you were going to be able to predict, or, just so comfortable, where you are in life. But, through, I feel, doing that physical activity and showing up each day, doing the repetition and the reps and the routines, you start to learn that, the more repetitions that you put in, the more adversity, the more tension that you put on the body, the better results that you see. Because you're only going to get out of it as much as you put into it. So to know that in order for me personally, when I look at physical activity and the movement, of the body, and to help myself just get things going within me. If I'm feeling lost or dull, the best thing I always turn to for me personally, just my own personal advice, is just help me was just doing something physical and active. So doing something physical and active, whether that be, going for a walk, running, swimming, walking your dog, riding a bike, drawing, doing something that, doing a couple of burpees or jumping jacks, just something that can get you going and kind of, release that stagnant energy that's within you. Just to, again, stir up the pot, to allow at least an opportunity for new things to come in, or to feel new things rather than just continuously dwelling and focusing on what you're currently feeling. Not to, again, run away from it, but to, work through it, to know that this too shall pass, and to know that, once you find out what it is you enjoy doing, once those moments, arise again where you feel stagnant or feel lost or feel dull, you can always turn to these things that you did before once you learned previously how they helped you and were beneficial to you overall, in your well-being. So that's number one, physical activity, movement, and just participating in things that will help you, get the blood flow going, and ultimately, like I said, get those new ideas brainstorming. All right, so let's go into number two. Number two will be mindful practices. So when I say mindful practices, I mean yoga, I mean meditation, I mean breath work, which is, to some people meditation, but to some people it could be two separate things. So I just want to mention it, be courteous of all people and what they practice. So breath work and meditation and yoga for me has been life-changing. It's been truly enlightening, and it's allowed me to, really humble myself and to know how important, quieting the mind is, and to know how important, a lot of my decisions in life were being led by thoughts that were racing in my mind that I wasn't even aware of. They were just subconsciously leading my decisions, and I was ultimately making choices that were not in my best of interest, just based off things that I didn't heal from or work through. So again, with the mindfulness practices like yoga, being able to have that mind-body connection, to be one with my body, to be, in flow and to be in tune, to be aware of aches and pains that might be going on within me, to, to have patience, to not take myself as seriously, because again, coming from a athletic background, everything's always, has to be done right, has to be done like this, has to be done like that. But with yoga, it really taught me, like, it's okay to not, get these things right away. And it's going to be a truly humbling experience, because these are new movements and these are new things that you're putting your body through. So, of course, it's going to be different, and it's going to be challenging. But to, use that challenge and adversity as an opportunity for me to grow and sharpen myself, rather than, feel victim and feel guilty about myself for not being able to, do these things right away. But to, trust the process, and to know that this is now an opportunity for me now to focus my attention and energy onto something that will help me grow internally and help me become more mindful, present, still, more even, like I said, mind-body connection when I work out. My workouts were started to improve, as I began to do yoga, because my connection with my body was much more in tune. My movements were a lot more efficient. My breathing was a lot more efficient. My recovery was a lot more efficient. So again, being aware of these different things and these different practices that can, they seem foreign only because we haven't done them before, but to, that to at least try them out and to see how they go. Because again, I want to say, just for myself personally, as a male, it was definitely humbling for me to, start yoga, because, it was something that, just from a male perspective is seen to be in a certain light. But again, like I said, not take myself as serious, to know that this is life. Life is meant to be explored and to try new things. So, like they say, old keys won't open new doors. So again, when I talk about my depression previously and working through that stagnant period of my life, that body movement and that muscle connection with the mind through yoga was very rewarding for me, because it taught me so much about myself, humbling myself, and to really trust the process, and to really, again, lay a brick a day. and to continuously build on that momentum that you have now created with yourself in a newfound activity, and to allow yourself to learn new things about yourself and learn new things that will help you ultimately be more peaceful, be more blissful, be more joyful, to be more fulfilled, and to continuously work through things that might be detrimental in your life, but to know that again, this too shall pass, and turning to these new practices and these practices that you feel are best for you to allow you to move through these things mindfully and self-aware, because those two together I feel are a combination for nothing but success. If you're aware of yourself, if you're mindful of yourself, and you're present with and in tune with yourself, I like to say the sky's not the limit, your mind is the limit. You can achieve and attain anything, with pure intentions, that is, again, for the beneficial of the well-being of the collective and in alignment with God's plan for your life. So again, that's number 2 for me, just talking about, mindfulness, meditation and yoga and breath work, and allowing that breath within me to, again, bring my racing thoughts back to the present, to be more still, to be more in tune with what's going on around me and within me, to know that, what it is I'm thinking right now does not determine who I am. These are just thoughts. These thoughts do not define who I am, nor do they dictate the decisions that I will make. But again, to be mindful of these thoughts and aware of these thoughts will help you make more mindful and intentional decisions that, again, are beneficial for your overall well-being. So again, that's what number 2 is about. And then when we talk about number 3, to conclude this off, that helped me overcome depression, stagnant, cyclical feelings, and all the things that I felt were in my low moments in life, and that I still might feel here and there, but help me ultimately move through these things when I turn back to these practices and focus on what works for me, is diet. Me personally, the last 2 years have been so enlightening and life-changing for me, in terms of what it is I eat, how I eat, the amount that I eat, the types of sugars and sweets that I previously would have turned to, but now turn to different things to get again a more healthier reward that is still feeding maybe a sugar craving. Like, instead of eating a bag of candy, I'll now go and get some strawberries or blueberries. I've always been I like fruit a lot, but again, also have a craving for candy sometimes. But again, having that discipline and that awareness for myself to, ultimately be in alignment with the decisions that I'm trying to make for myself. Not saying candy's bad or fruits are all good, but for me, being in alignment with where it is I'm trying to take myself, I had to refrain from eating candy and bring a lot more fruit into my diet, as well as, turning and completely 180 in my diet, going plant-based, to remove chicken meat and fish and animal proteins away from my body, away from my diet, and to indulge more fruits, vegetables, whole foods, macronutrients, and things that come from the ground into my diet, to again improve my mental clarity, my energy level, my recovery level, digestion, overall well-being, inflammation in the body, and just certain things that I felt were in my control, but were in my control throughout my life. But now I know that they were always in my control based off, again, what I put within my body. And definitely make sure that you consult and seek out a health professional, talk to a nutritionist, somebody who's certified or credentialed in directing you on what steps to take if you are interested in a plant-based diet. I'm just sharing my personal experience, but I advise you, disclaimer, to talk to a specialist and get advice and information from them that fits your own personal diet and overall health makeup. So again, but for me, changing to a plant-based diet has been so rewarding, and it was one of the best things that I've ever done, because I feel just a lot different. And I feel it's one of those things you can't really explain to people unless they try it, because it's such a new feeling within the body that you can't really put it into words. It's kind of just like you got to give it, like I tell people, once you talk to a professional and a specialist, try it for 7 days, and see how it works for you. Just try it out. And, figure out, okay, this is something I like, this is something I enjoy, maybe, or no, not at all. And all those answers are completely fine, because there is no right diet, there is no right direction to go. It's just about personal preference and what feels best for you. But again, for me and my own personal depression, stagnant or cyclical feeling in life, my diet changed along with my mindfulness practices and my physical activity, all as a collective, has been super empowering and impactful for my life, because I've truly felt the rebirth and the rejuvenation of just these new practices in my life, and they have now opened me up to new things and allowed new doors to open based off new choices being made. So again, overall, to tie this all in, just talking about, let's go over the 3 things that helped me overcome depression and feeling cyclical or stagnant in life. Number 1, physical activity. Going to the gym, doing something active. Just getting out in the sun every day. Doing something to get your body moving. Mindfulness practices. Meditation and yoga. Breath work. Doing things that help me come back to the present moment, to be in tune with what's going on presently. To not allow myself to race mindlessly, but to be mindful. And again, thirdly, my diet. Being very intentional and aware of what it is I put within my body. And to know that, it is up to me to control what I can control. And to know that I'm responsible and I have to hold myself accountable for the things that I say I want and the goals that I set out to achieve, to make sure that my actions are in alignment with those goals and those accomplishments that I set out that I want to achieve. So again, just moving through and, processing, when I look back 2 years ago when I feel one of the lowest points in my life, with depression and feeling stagnant or cyclical at times, these 3 components really helped me move through that low point in my time to get to, I feel, a new perspective on life. And, I give all the glory to God, because without Him, none of this would have been possible for me. He led me to all these things. He helped me work through all these things. He provided the resources and the tools and the conversations that I needed to have in order for me to be more confident and grounded in these decisions that I'm making. So again, all praise to God, and I'm truly grateful and thankful for just the resources and the decisions that He's helped me make, and to feel grounded and confident in these decisions, because they've been so rewarding and joyful, and I'm truly blessed. And again, that's why I want to share these with you guys, and hopefully somebody can take away from it one of these 3 things, and implement them into their lifestyle and see how it works out for them. Trial and error, and maybe hopefully they can move through their low moments, or just even if they're feeling great, just to continuously keep that momentum going of feeling great. But to also know that this is your life, and to know that you have free will, and to know that it is up to you to get you where you want to be in life. So make every day count, make every choice intentional, and to always love yourself, believe yourself, keep faith in the Most High, and to know that everything that you need within you is already within you. Everything that you need to be successful is already within you. So again, I thank you guys for tuning into this video today, listening to these 3 things that help me overcome depression and anxiety and feeling stagnant in life. And again, I'll see you guys in the next one. Be tuned to check out our website, onesdivinedestiny.com, and be on the lookout for more announcements and brand drop. So I thank you guys, and have a great one. Brandon out.